Okay, hello and welcome back to a MMS 2016 attendee interview. Today I'm joined by Zach. Hey, Zach, how's it going?
Good, Lee. How are you?
Good. Well, Zach, we're getting really close to the MMS date here. I think it's just about 2 weeks away now at this point. So I kind of wanted to bring someone on to kind of give us an attendee perspective. And Zach, before we get started, why don't you tell us a little bit about kind of who you are, what your day job is, and then what brings you to MMS? Put it that way.
Yeah, sure. A day job, I am a platform engineer, more specifically desktop engineer, focused on basically keeping all of our end user workstations fully up to date, operating system deployment, that type of thing, compliance essentially too. And just I actually work for an investment firm, and they provide training for me. And what better way than to go to MMS?
Exactly. So it
Yeah.
sounds like MMS is right up your alley. I think you're one of the prime candidates for most of the sessions we offer. Of course, we do offer a wide variety of sessions at MMS, but you're kind of the prime audience there. So, Zach, we certainly know each other from MMSs of the past, be it the ones we have now in Minnesota and some of the ones in Vegas. Kind of want to share what the whole MMS experience is, because I think we both know. We're both on the same page for everything we're about to talk about here. But I feel like at MMS it feels a lot different than most of the other conferences you go to. Some of the larger conferences. Maybe you can kind of comment on like an experience that kind of sums that up for you, maybe.
So my first MMS was actually in 2011 at Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas, a few years ago. It was my first real go at going to a conference. I didn't really know what to expect, and it quite honestly was very shocking. It was huge. The conference center is big. It's so far away from your hotel room. Just a lot going on, and it's in Las Vegas. It was just a lot happening. And then in 2012, I got to go back again, and I knew what to expect a little more going into it, and I was a little more outgoing, talking to some people, and I just happened to go into the alumni lounge that year, and I was just hanging out. Sure enough, a couple of guys standing behind me ended up being you and Chris, and sure enough, a couple of guys from Madison, and I'm from Milwaukee, and we just kind of hit it off. It was just kind of couldn't believe I met some other guys around, that close. And so, kind of going from there, like MMS last year is just such a different experience. Like I was saying, the Mall of America is huge itself, but actually, the conference center and the hotel where the conference is held at, everything's really close. People are out in the open. It's easy to find people, easy to talk. It's just such a different experience. It's so better. You can even between sessions, you can just run into people and just say, hey, just talk real quick, have a brief chat, and be on your way. It's just cool.
Yeah, I think I would call myself. I'm not really like a mall person per se. If I can buy something on Amazon and avoid the mall, I'm always going to go with that option. But uh, MMS now in the Mall of America, it's kind of in this hotel attached to it. So really, my favorite part is I can take the elevator down at 6:58 a.m. and be in my birds of a feather session at 7 in the morning every time, no problem.
Exactly. Yeah, you don't need to spend 15 minutes leaving your hotel room and hope you make it on time.
Right. So actually, and folks, just kind of one note: if you go to the sketch.org site, there's a little map section in the same page where you're looking at sessions. There's a map section. You can kind of see where all the rooms are, and you'll see everything's pretty condensed. We're all in one kind of close area, and with that, you do get a lot of those experience like Zach just talked about, where yeah, I'm just hanging out in the lounge, and then I get talking to this guy, and we're all kind of doing the same thing, and here's this speaker. I saw your session. It was great, but I had a question about this. And MMS is really the one conference where those types of things just happen naturally all the time, and there's tons of opportunity for that.
Yeah, exactly. The way the sessions go, they kind of stagger the times, right? There's new sessions starting on the top of the hour every hour. And so you're wanting to get the most out of the conference. So sometimes you don't always stay in a session, which is perfectly great, which is one of the things I actually really like about this is I can just get up and leave whenever I need to. But if you want to, you may run across that speaker again later on and be like, hey, I was in your session earlier. I wanted to hop into this other one, and just see if you have a question. They're more than willing to just sit down and talk with you for a few minutes. It's great.
Yeah, that's right. And we do have a new thing this year where we are doing repeat sessions. So our most popular sessions, they have repeat sessions. So if it was busy, you couldn't get in, you had to leave for whatever reason, you can probably catch the repeat session. So we have that going on this year. And then one thing I just wanted to briefly just run down for people is I would kind of like to let our attendees know, maybe if they haven't been to MMS before, what the typical day at MMS is like. So when I wasn't really exaggerating there earlier, where it really starts at 7 in the morning every day, because that's when the content starts.
Yeah, it absolutely does. There's birds of a feather sessions every morning, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday this year. Basically, yeah, like you said, it's up early, hardcore learning. You're right at it. And like I said too before, there's sessions on the top of the hour every hour from like 8 till 6 p.m. I believe every day.
Yep.
And it's just, there's a lot going on. There's not a lunch provided, which is perfectly fine. The lunch area in the mall is really with a 5-minute walk, not even. There's just constant sessions going all day long. So it's kind of up to you to decide if you want to eat or skip it, or, whatever you need to do. There are some snacks provided, which is great too, but I really like that. I'd rather have the content than worry about a big lunch type thing. So
yeah, and just an inside look, that's really why they skip the lunch. It's because that is such a huge cost for conferences. We kind of put that cost into the the actual content and bringing more speakers out and things like that.
I love that. I would rather have the content and get to the sessions. And if I guess I didn't see a lot of people doing it, but I'm sure they're more than willing to allow you to bring your food if you want to bring it to the session too. So not really a big deal, but yeah, I like having the content instead. So, and then kind of moving on, it's ends up being some long days, but the content is just awesome. It's so worth it. And then kind of the end of the day, the sessions that are around 5-6 o'clock end up kind of being more on the fun side, I would say, a little more laid back. Definitely just kind of a nice way to wrap up the day and just go on from there. And then every night, like there's something going on every night, no matter what. Some stuff is vendor related. You may have to talk to some of the vendors for a little bit, but if you give them some of your time, they're more than willing to invite you along. Yep. There's stuff going on. And then, of course, there's also the speaker lounge, which basically is the hotel lobby, which is great. And then the Fire Lake Bar and Grill right there, where pretty much everyone kind of gathers every night, and it's just a real laid back and just hang out and meet and greet.
Yeah, exactly. Like you were saying, 5-6 o'clock, those sessions, that's the time to put away the notebooks. We call them beer sessions. We cater some beer and things like beer and wine at the events, and they're usually more laid back. So it's just kind of builds on what you learned during the day, connect with the community a little bit, kind of do some more fun sessions. But there's some good things to learn in those sessions as well. I think that's when we have like Config Manager Jeopardy and things like that. It's a lot of fun. It's a perfect way to kind of unwind and decompress a little bit after a long day of cramming the brain. And then, of course, Fire Lake Lounge is excellent. The bar is always filled with people talking Config Manager or System Center or Cloud or something. So if you're looking for more to do, you can always find a group of people to hang out with and talk tech if you like.
I think you guys enjoyed watching me go around from group to group last year, just meeting different people, and that's one of the things I love about this.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Zach, one of the reasons we wanted to have you on is because I think everyone who was at MMS last year knows who you are. So I feel like you were the perfect person to have on to talk about what the attendee experience is like, what you can kind of expect. So I think that about wraps it up for today. I think, we've captured the essence of the MMS and kind of got a feel for what the day-to-day at the actual conference is. And if you're at MMS this year, feel free to talk to Zach. He'll kind of hook you up, tell you what to do. He's got some good tips. And or if you're bored and just want to hang out with someone, Zach is your man.
Definitely.
Or if you want to get introduced to a speaker, Zach knows everyone. So just talk to Zach.
Yep, getting close. Yeah.
All right, man. Well, I think that wraps it up. Let's go ahead and button this up, and I'll see you in a couple weeks at MMS.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it, Lee. Thanks so much.
Same here. Okay, I'll see you around.